it's problematic. You know, I can easily say that Sebastião Salgado, Cartier-Bresson, you know, were early on, you know, people whose work I was looking at. They, you know, a lot of that's black and white. You know, I was looking at, you know, I like, but you know, Roy DeCarava is really kind of, you know, he's a black artist. He's a black photographer who's long dead, and of course Gordon Parks. You know, I met him and befriended him toward the end of his life and things like that. So those are people who really have, but I have found those people influence. Jay Maisel. Jay Maisel was, you know, Ernst Haas. When I started to look at color, whoa, blew me away, you know. So those were the people that influenced me when I started to really realize that color was my genre, that black and white was okay, but, you know, we needed to explore, you know. My mother called me a contrarian, you know, so I was looking at how do we make color as important? How do we explore and push color to what it is really capable of doing? So those are the people, but Arno Minkkinen, you know him, you know, tells the story, it's become famous, about his bus story, you know, that when you start off in your career, you know, it's like the center of town where there's, you know, there's 100 buses and there's thousands of people that are climbing on the buses, and everybody, you're an artist and you're one of the thousands of people and you're doing things, and then you go out a little ways and you get to, and then you're going to transfer to another bus and you're going to jump on another bus, but there are fewer of them, you know, and then you get to the third bus and there's only 3, you know, and then one day the bus drops you off and you're out there by yourself. And I've found that not only in the way I photograph, but also in the way I seek, you know, because the Pan-Africa is totally, you know, even the Death Row Project, people would, you know, if they ever got a person in prison, it was always that, hound dog, hung dog, whatever it is, you know, the guy with the cigarette and the arms through the bars, and, you know, lots of shadow and dark and, you know, sad faces. And I was like, I want to know what the stories, what these people are really, I want to know the story from why did they kill somebody? Maybe, okay, so my whole project became trying to understand what would cause somebody to take somebody else's life, which my contemporaries could have cared less. They were trying to get a sensational cover they were trying to win Pulitzer Prize. And the same thing with Africa. They want to go and shoot Ebola to get a cover or to win the picture of the year. I'm looking at contemporary subjects. I'm looking at subjects that are, you know, and they're not going to, you know, so I'm actually saying it's the new photojournalism for us. So we're working in almost, not quite 180 degrees, but we're working in diverging, no, we're working in opposite directions. And it really makes an incredible difference as to how people look at your work, you know, because nobody gives a shit about Africa. And certainly nobody gives a shit about Africa and what's going on there on the positive. So we're trying to fight against those kinds of prejudices and misconceptions.